Hello, hello. It has happened. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. They did it. They finally added the Demolition Derby update, and it's brilliant. I've literally been playing it almost non-stop since it came out. When I'm off work, it is. When I'm at home, as soon as I get on that PlayStation, this is the first thing I'd go to besides Just Cause 3, which I had, then I deleted, and I'm just playing this some more now lately. But anywho, I figured I'd do a video on it because it just came out and I really like it. And even though, yes, there are some flaws with it, and with all the negative stuff about the crew too lately, I think they did this right. Like, it ain't perfect, but it brought life back to the game. Like, the game was it was just dead. And yeah, the servers ain't perfect. I've had some issues with the servers, and I've had issues with regular PvP, like it should be off-roading and drifting and such too, but it's just racing right now. And yeah, they have scheduled maintenance the 7th, just to let you know. But I mean, it's so good though. The races are my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts. And look at that. I mean, like, it's just so fun at dodging that stuff and hitting people and trying not to hit people and trying to dodge stuff. I mean, it's just so good. I mean, it is actual soft body physics, and if it ain't, it's preloaded soft body physics for certain parts to fly off at certain times. It's got a health bar system, which I don't like the health bar system as much. I prefer a dynamic system like War Thunder, where like certain parts could get broken or fall off, or like the tires can get popped. They can't fall off, but they can get popped. You can ride a rim, the whole body can come off, just about, except for maybe a few pieces, depending on the car. This is the El Camino. We all know it's El Camino, but they just don't say it. I mean, this is just part of a race that I did. This is I think the second one I ever did. And then there's people like that just sit in the middle and ruin your experience. That was a bad experience, and that kind of made me get off after that. But later in the video, you'll see actual gameplay of me in the Demolition Derby, which I was just gonna, grind. Well, I can't say that because I wanted to grind it out. It's actually 700 grand, or maybe 780 in the game right now. It's 20% off with game currency, regular game currency. So if you grind, you can get it. But I spent like $10 or $15 actually, because they get you because you think you're only gonna spend $10, but then there's that extra 5 CC credits that if you don't have them already, you're still in trouble there. You can't do it. But they've made it so that way there's now so that you can get CC credits without buying it, and then they've made it so obviously you can buy it without real money, which I think is a great system. And it's similar to War Thunder's War Bonds, but it's actually achievable. And I, think Ubisoft is pretty good for that. I mean, yeah, it's a good car, this El Camino, but I think my favorite is gonna be the 50 Chevy looking one, or the Hudson Horn anyway. And this truck here. I mean, the truck and the 50s Hudson Hornet are the best in my opinion. But if you look in any of the games, most cars you're gonna see are either people just getting into it with the standard car, the truck, or that station wagon, or the El Camino. That's the majority of them, I mean, there's not many in the first place, but the rarest one you see actually is the 50s car, though. I've seen that probably the least out of all of them. But the truck, obviously has such a powerful hit base, And then like the Hudson is just so good because when you hit it's the Chevy. This is the C10 Chevy, and most of them I know it's actually are Chevys.
Like, I needed that.
Like, I think all of them.
I needed that.
Yeah, all of them are technically Chevys, but you can't say that because some of them do look like Fords. This is obviously a C10 pickup. Oof. But the little regular car, it's hard to tell. This car right here actually isn't that bad. It's actually better than it looks. It is the standard car, but it's pretty good. I think it's a box Caprice is what I think it is, but it could be like a Ford LTD. They're very similar. But this is like so good, just going in first person, jumping, hearing that engine roar, beeping the horn, and just slamming someone into a wall like 70-80 miles an hour. And then you don't kill them, and they split back over again, but depending how you hit them, you may kill them instantly. You know, like usually on some vehicles rear shots can heavily damage them. Like on a truck, that's a weakness, and on like this car can be too. And actually the weakest, see, you can just barely catch it. You can roll over. It's the same physics as the monster trucks with the rolling. They just, you know, convert it over. But this is my favorite of all of them. This and the truck, because this car is the best balance of all of the vehicles. Because it hits like a brick. It maneuvers well. It turns decently. It has good speed and acceleration. Like I said, it hits like a brick. So, and it's got good survivability. And look at that, just pushing them all in there. So I get 2 kills, just barely touching them, fall into the water. This is the bowl thing or something with the bowl, and you have to push people in the water. You have to survive not being pushed in the water, because every time you fall, you lose 5,000 points. So yeah, you win by the points, which in all reality is a bit unrealistic. Because in real life, it's based on what cars last, you know, driving and standing, and that was brutal. But you know, in this game, it's more about the points, like how much damage you give. Actually, it's all about the damage, how many kills you get, and the damage you push. Not how much you take, but how much you push. Which these cars, I do actually dislike demolition derbies in real life because of the vehicles that get ruined in real life. But this is just brilliant. And PvP. It does have some issues. It isn't as good as, per se, the crew wants PvP, and the choices aren't as good. And the lobby wait time can be very long, depending. And the first day I tried it, which was the day it was released, it actually, they took away the Demolition Derby and made just 2 race things, which doesn't make much sense. And those repair things and those heavy-hitting damage increasers, I keep thinking it's like a wild repair kit or wild damage increasing thing appears. You know, the way they said it, it's just hilarious. And there's this cool moments like that where you jump up and you hit somebody, or you jump and you land on somebody and you kill them. And there's like other instances like we get that perfect thing, you know, where you jump or you slide and you knock someone into a wall just right. It's all about avoiding. You gotta watch that mini map, or you gotta watch your surroundings and guess like, oh, am I vulnerable? You gotta turn around and like, use the brakes, do like a little donut and avoid people. You gotta watch that thing, because that will kill you. And you know, there's so many obstacles, you know, and then he just hits people right head on. This is the worst of all. It does have a very good hit. When you hit someone, it does a lot of damage. It is a nice looking vehicle. Ooh, that was close. But the rear is very weak, and it is such a large side, like the El Camino. It is very vulnerable to side hits, and sometimes the rear, because the rear gives you very heavy damage, which, like I said, it's opposite of real life. In real life, you protect the front end, because that's where the engine and such is, and you don't want to get hit in your side because you don't want it to crunch in, so you can't really, you know, they have roll cages, but you know, it's limited to an extent. But in real life, they don't get to these speeds either. Yeah, this is the best game I ever had so far in the last 2 days. It's just brilliant. I can come in there, I get knocked out, yeah, but yeah, another game I had with this car. I didn't do as much damage as this game. This is the most damage. I will release this video later, but full, you know, of this match. But I just don't like how short they are. But then again, you don't want it to be too long in the same map either. I wanted to add other maps, and I wanted to do cinematics with these cars, like see how, like, if you like do some sort of zombie thing where there's like a whole bunch of these, but no, like in an arena, but like there's just one regular truck, like the Chevy or something, and that was a bad decision. You can jump out like that, and you can smash people. You can jump out like that, get T-boned like that. Like watching a few seconds, you'll talk about it. It's really fun though, man. It's just so fun, and you have to know what you're doing. You know, it is not a high skill level. It's just smashing the cars, but it's got skill level. See, like it's like Lightning McQueen right there. Then I jump back up, I come back out, and you land on top of him, and then you kill him because he's so low in health. Then you get pushed by that thing out the way. Then I get slammed again. Then I go after this guy. Then after I get this guy, you know, where I don't kill him, but I knock the guy on the ground. Boom! Like, that's just so good. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and have a great day, and have fun.